So I'm 50% through Diabound. Honestly don't know how that happened, but here we are. I decided to pick up Diabound because this was one of the books on my 10 before the end, because I made this list so that then I could have a bit of a goal by the end of the year to finish some of the books that I have been meaning to finish or like read this entire year. And a lot of them were very, very popular fantasy/romantasy books that I have only heard good things about. It's like one final push to read the books that I've been meaning to read. Why I didn't read these, I don't know. Like in my head, I guess when I thought about reading them, I was like, no, I have time. Like I need to pick up this book instead. But I didn't have to. I could have picked up Diabound when I first heard about it, but no. So if this is one of the bookmas videos, happy bookmas. Crazy that I'm saying that because I wanted to do that for so long. And I hope everyone is having a very happy festive season. So anyways, Diabound. This book was described to me as Fourth Wing except with wolves. Yes, it basically is, but only because of the fact that it's set at a military school and the students have to bond with an animal. This animal happens to be a dire wolf, which I found out was an actual wolf many years ago that went extinct. But in this series, they're like ginormous. You ride them and it's like, you know, massive. I am loving it so much. I personally, so far, 50% in. So much better than Fourth Wing. Because you're bonded to your wolf, it's kind of the same thing where you feel what they feel what you feel. And there are mates involved because it's wolves, so of course there's going to be mates involved. And we just got to a scene where Ness is like, I do have a mate and I don't need you guys messing around with each other to know who my mate is. I've known who my mate is for years. And I was like, I knew it and I know exactly who the mate's gonna be. We all know who the mate's gonna be. And Mare has no clue. But I can't wait for her to find out who it is because I think that maybe is when we're gonna start to get a little bit more in the romantasy side. I'm really enjoying it. There is so much going on. So many cool dynamics. Mare also has lots of friends. Well, not lots of friends, but she's made friends at the military school. Also made some enemies. But yeah, I think it's a really well-rounded book so far. And I'm really enjoying it. It is long, like really long, but 50% through. I am going to make a coffee and then we're going to read some more of this. Coffee is acquired. We are under the blanket. My voice is going a little bit croaky. Don't know why, but we're about to read for a little bit. The day that I'm filming this, we hit 100 subscribers, which is so fun. That was my goal for the end of the year, was to hit 100 subscribers, to have 100 of you take a chance on me and me trying to figure out this whole filming thing. I just want to say thank you very much for sticking around and pressing that button, because I know that taking a chance on a small creator isn't the easiest, I guess. I mean, it's easy because all you have to do is click a button, but there is a level of, do I like you enough to want to watch you grow? So that means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Now, on to reading. Oh my gosh, one thing I've just remembered is that the guy who she is in love with at the minute, her nickname, or his nickname for her, is Kitten. No thank you. No thank you. I really like the nickname Alley Cat, which I think it was like her fighting mentor gave her. Why can't we use that? That's so much cooler than Kitten. Like that's such an unpleasant, no, I can't. It's off-putting, I'm not gonna lie. So it's a good thing I'm not rooting for this guy because no thank you. I'm loving this book so much. I could see this being a 5-star and I'm still 50% through. It's one of those books where you click like 4 pages and you're still in the same percentage, but that's okay. She is really struggling, but also Anessa is making it harder, or at least she made it a lot harder at the beginning. And now that the bond's kind of getting stronger it is becoming easier. But yeah, I like that it's getting harder. And I like all the friendships that we have. There's also some good representation in this book, so that's also nice to see. I think it's a trilogy, or it's going to be a trilogy. I have no idea when the second book's going to be out though, but I don't mind. Oh girl, I think something else is going to happen before you get to tell him that you love him. No! She did tell him. Well, that's going to cause issues. If I know anything about love triangles in a fantasy book, somewhere in the castle, the first guy's always going to do something bad. Thinking of you, Red Queen. No, don't use kitten. Why do I not trust him? I mean, I know why I don't trust him, because I've learned not to trust them, but they're also in a really intimate moment, and I feel like if he did something now, that would be even worse, you know? But I really don't trust him. I actually just can't speak to the camera when she's around because she just purrs so loudly. Someone once said she has a very demonic purr. I don't know if that's true because she's the only cat I have at the minute. So if you have a cat, does she sound like your cat? Because she's very loud. Hi guys, I am off to work. OOTD, scarf, Primark, blazer that I wore the other day, H&M, top, jumper, underneath, no idea. Jeans, Hollister, low-rise, shoes, I don't know if you can see, and I don't think I'm flexible enough to show. Shoes is Deichmann with socks from Primark, I think. I had to wear socks. I really want to wear my ballet slippers more in the winter just because I like them, but I don't know how to wear them properly because with thick socks they look awkward. Like they look nicer with thinner socks that like flush to the shoe, I guess, in your foot. So we're gonna see if my feet survive. I realized when I was doing my nails, I'm too warm in this thing to take this off. I realized when I was doing my nails and I was listening to my audiobook, which is what's it called? The Burning God. The God, something God, is it the Burning God? The third book in the Popular trilogy, that series was on my time for the end, I think. And I have managed to get through the second book and now I'm like 80% into the audiobook of this last one. And at first I was like, I'm not gonna talk about it, doesn't fit the video. And then I was like, hold on a minute, I'm making a video on all of the popular fantasy books at the minute and this is a popular fantasy book. And I'm finishing it. So that's what we're gonna try to listen to. I'm not the best at being able to listen to audiobooks when I'm just sat on the bus. I think I've touched on this before. So we're gonna see. If not, I do have my Kindle with me and we will read more of Diabound, but I do need to get on the bus now. So let's go. Good morning, guys. It is December 1st, which means it's officially the first day of bookmas, which is insane to say. I can't believe I'm sat here doing this. But anyways, this first one, the theme of the week, I guess, it's obviously been to read popular fantasy books. And boy, did we read Diabound. I finished it now. That was such a good book. Like, genuinely was not expecting it to be such a good book. I am a sucker for all of the things that happen in that book, okay? So what I loved about this book, the bonds between the animals and the rider and the way that pack unity worked and like the telepathic mind, like the communication, it was done phenomenally. I loved that. That was so interesting. The last 20% of this book was just, I was just eating it up and I was like, what is going on? There were aspects that I guessed, right? Like I kind of guessed who we weren't supposed to trust, but why we weren't supposed to trust them flew straight over my head. Didn't even think that it was a possibility because I was just, I think I'm quite a gullible reader. So if, you know, I'm not looking for everybody to be the bad guy and I'm not looking for that stuff, like I'm just reading what's in front of me and I'm piecing it together slowly. Does that make sense? Like I'm just a very gullible reader, so when we got to like the reveal at the end, I was like, oh, this was a possibility. I think the main character was really strong. She was a bit annoying just because I understand that you wanted to find your sister. I completely understand that. I'd be the same. But in a situation where you can't because you're stuck in this military school, make friends. Please, and be friends with your wolf. By the end of it, you understand a little bit as to that barrier between the two of them, but still, it was just like, come on, be nice, you know? And she does end up making friends by the end of it, which was also really nice. The gore in this book was a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. Like, it was detailed, and I was like, ugh, that's really gross. But it was good. I also did not know that this was A, debut, insane for a debut, B, two friends. Like the authors of this book is two friends. Didn't know that. That's really fun. Stark. Yeah. Wow. The whole tattoo thing. At first I was like, ooh. And I was like, oh, he has to do it for other people. But then she got her tattoo done by somebody else and it was just like not the same thing. So I was like, okay, that's okay. I'll let it slide. That he has to do that to other people. I'll let it slide. Yeah, just the last 20%, everything just happened and everything was coming together and I'm so excited for book 2. Now that we finished that, we are going to start the next book on this list, Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I have no idea what this is about. All that I know is that the male main character is called Kingfisher, which doesn't really tickle my fancy. I I'm not gonna lie, I do like the original cover. Like, I don't hate this, but I just think the original cover had so much going on and there was like so much detail, was a piece of art, whereas this is just fun text. But in this copy, there is character art. The only annoying thing is though, is that because it's not a hardback and this is a giant book, it's not exactly very easy to see. Like you really have to bend the book, and don't get me wrong, I'm a cracked spines girl, but it is annoying when that happens all the time. I'm going to start this. We're going to see how much we can read today. I do have work today in the afternoon. We're going to see how much I can read. Again, I don't know anything about this book, just that it's super popular and that book 2 came out recently. Anywho, we're gonna start this. This is a ginormous book though, and Diabound was not small either. So maybe gonna have to find a really short fantasy book to read after this because otherwise we're only gonna get the 2 books. Technically we got through 3 because I finished the Dragon Republic. Oh no, the Burning God. Did I talk about the Burning God? I don't remember now. It's been a few days since I've been making this video. Oh, I just realized I've unintentionally mashed my nails to this book. I have seen the hardbacks special editions of these books, which I'm sorry, but a book that is just a hardback and has really simple sprayed edges, that is not a special edition. We have really, like, some books I can see why they're special edition. Other books, the pages are pink down the side. Like, what? How does that make it a special edition? It's just... But anyways, I have seen them with like the iridescent metallic sprayed edges, and that does look really cool. And it makes sense for a book called Quicksilver. Oh, there's a pronunciation guide. That's another thing. When I was reading Diabound, I knew that there was a pronunciation guide in the back of the book, but because I was reading it on my Kindle, it is so inconvenient to read fantasy books on Kindle. Like, maybe that's just because I'm a bit lazy and I don't feel like clicking out of the page that I'm in, because this is easy enough, right? I'm here and I don't know how to pronounce something, and I just flick here, easy, boom, find what I need, and then I'm back. Whereas on the Kindle, I am going to go make breakfast and a coffee, and then we're going to start this book. Really looking forward to it, because I've heard it's really good. Oh, you're so warm. You're like a hot water bottle. I downed my coffee and my breakfast because I need to go take my dog out. Probably just gonna listen to music. No, I do have an audiobook. I'm currently listening to Haunting Adeline. Is it Haunting or Hunting? Whichever the first one is. Because Emma wanted me to read it. My friend Emma. She said, Lily, I want you to read it. And I went, okay. So I'm listening to it on audio and I'm about 50% in. How that happened, I don't know, because I started it yesterday. Yeah, let's just say I hope I don't meet anyone and have to politely smile while listening to the shenanigans that happen in this book. And then we need to come back. I bought this Wild deodorant, mainly because they actually had the Emma Bridgewater collection, and if you know anything about me, you know that I love Emma Bridgewater, so I had to get the Emma Bridgewater collection. But yeah, I'm shocked that they had it in Germany. Like, I wouldn't think that the special one that they have in Germany is the Emma Bridgewater one. I would think that's like a UK exclusive, because I don't really think Emma Bridgewater is that known outside of the country. But anyways, this one smells really yummy. It's the honey and cactus flower, I think. Yeah, I've only just started using it though, because I usually just use like a roll-on, but they don't last. Why am I going on a tangent about deodorants? I don't know. I need to go take my dog out, but it's cold, but at least it's sunny. What am I talking about? Let's go. Had a wonderful walk with Marley in the sunshine, which was really nice. I needed that. Listened to more of Haunting Adeline. I think, you know, the plot is actually okay, but I think if the main character, Adeline, was a little bit more happy or I think at the end of the day, if she was just a bit more comfortable with what's happening, I would be more comfortable. But because she seems to be so uncomfortable with everything, I'm like, well, obviously that's going to make me uncomfortable because she's uncomfortable, so it doesn't even seem consensual. And I know that I haven't actually heard the trigger warnings because this is an audiobook, but there's still an element of that has been talked about, you know, that hasn't been talked about. So I'm just uncomfortable. But I'm going to finish it just to see A, what all the hype is about, and B, so then I can tell Emma that I finished it. Yeah, I need to tidy my room before I do anything else because it's a bit of a mess. It's not the fact that it's a mess, there's just clothes everywhere that I need to put away, which is like my downfall when it comes to keeping my room tidy, is that there just are clothes everywhere, so I need to sort those, and then we can start this one. Let's make a Christmas book stack. I don't know if it has a name, but it's just a stack of books that kind of resembles a Christmas tree. And it looks really cute. I don't have any bows to put on it. Like, I see people put cute little bows on top of the stack. The only bow that I have is an actual bow that goes in the hair, and it's black, so I don't know how well it'll fit, but we'll try it anyway. And then if not, we'll just leave it like that. So, we need to I'm going to use these books. Maybe, well, I haven't actually cracked the spines of these yet. So maybe, because I actually don't think I own a single Christmas book. So we'll just use these because they're here anyway and it fits. Okay, before I go have some lunch, let's chat about this book. One, she's massive. The more I read it, the bigger it gets. Anyways, we're on chapter 4, which is about 41 pages in. I am so confused. What? Why? Where is this country or city? Because it's not on the map. Like, I'm literally, it's called, what's it called again? Zilvaran, and it's literally nowhere to be found on the map. It said something like the north, right? That's where it said that this is taking place. Why is it not on the map? I'm so confused. Am I blind? Huh? Anyways, though, that was fun. Interesting world so far, with the whole armor thing, the whole sand, hot country climate, dehydration, using water as a source of, you know, should be, what's the word? Bare minimum legal right to have water to live with, but it's not. All of the rich people getting fresh water, them not getting fresh water. Very interesting. Also learning more about, what's the name? Saris? Is that how you pronounce it? See, this is why I love a pronunciation guide. That doesn't really help. Saris. Oh, is it Saris? Because it's S-A, because it's spelled as if it was like air. So Saris. Okay. Intrigued to see what's gonna happen. Because again, we're not even on the map. Unless I'm just really blind. But her brother, really? Really? But I think this, what was his name? Carrion? At first, when we met him, I was like, oh, he's the love interest. But then I was like, no, because I feel like I've heard that name before. I don't know if maybe that's like he plays a bigger role, like he's gonna play a big role in the rest of this book, or I've heard, or if that's the name of some other fantasy male guy. But then I read the back and I was like, no, Kingfisher's the main guy, because now I remember Kingfisher being a strange name. Yeah, anyways, interesting setup so far, interesting world. Don't have much else to say. I think things are going to spice up now because she's just been taken by the gods. She's also like shown that she's a good fighter, which I think is a bad idea because who would have taught her? You know? They're gonna ask questions now. But anyways, going to make lunch and read some more, and I will catch up with you after that. Hi guys, whoa, I've come back from work and I've had dinner and I thought I would update you on Quicksilver because I've made a dent in this now. It's a lot more comfortable to hold now, which is nice, but I also found out I can read physical books on the bus. I knew I could read my Kindle, but I guess I can read physical books. I can't look at my phone screen though, which is interesting. But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this book. My questions have been answered. The map at the beginning of the book is not on the human world, it's on the Fae world, so I think we are going to be in the Fae world for a very long time. I am on page 195. I'm loving it so far. I'm also flying through it. Like, I don't know, I sat on the bus and I read like 40 pages and I just looked down at the page number and I was like, whoa. But yeah, so thoughts. Kingfisher? I don't even know what I want to call him. Fisher sounds weird, but the MMC. I love him. I do. There were so many funny moments as well. Yeah, the plot is pretty good. Basically, our FMC gets stuck in the Fae world and they kind of don't let her leave because Fae and humans aren't really on the best terms at the minute because of the human queen and her choices. Ceres is stuck in the Fae world. The king of the Fae world doesn't actually really like her very much though, but he needs her to keep the portal open that basically brought her into the Fae world. It was a bit weird how she ended up in the Fae world, like I wasn't convinced. I think this is like 25% now, so I will update you next, hopefully around the halfway point. Maybe later this evening, though I don't think I'll get that far. Guys, I'm giggling. I need to be quiet actually, I need to whisper. But I'm giggling because Kingfisher went through the portal and was supposed to bring back Hayden, her brother, but he brought back Carrie. Oh, that's too good. That was done so well. I had a feeling that he was gonna play a bigger role because I feel like I've heard his name before in like TikTok or something. But that was done really well. I should have seen it coming, but I didn't, and so that was really funny. Hi, so you're probably expecting a reading update, but it is now the next day, and I realized that actually, yes, I do want to do a fun bookmas intro. So this is what we're working with. I'm thinking like ornaments come down, says bookmas, something fun and festive, and then I'll work on some end cards as well. Is it late to be doing this? Yes. Am I still gonna do it? Yes. I've got first days of vlogmases up on my computer while I do this, and it's really fun. I hope it turns out how I'm envisioning it to turn out. Hi guys. So I've not been reading. I've also not been filming. It is now Thursday. I think I started this, actually I have no idea when I started this, potentially Thursday last week, so it has been a week, but it is the 4th today, I believe. And I haven't been filming, I haven't been reading, at least not physically, and I think it's because, one, I haven't done many Christmassy things yet. I think this season everything's a bit delayed. We don't have a Christmas tree yet, we haven't really decorated. The only thing that I've done is my little book tree, which I love, it's really cute. But I don't know, I'm not feeling in the Christmas mood at the minute. We haven't done much decorating also because my brother isn't home from uni yet, and we do like the Christmas tree together, we do all that fun stuff together. Hopefully this weekend we're gonna go out and get the Christmas tree. My family do real trees. Also, because we do real trees and we celebrate Three Kings in January, we can't really buy the Christmas tree in November because it's not going to last that long. So I always know that we're not going to get the Christmas tree like months in advance, but you can still decorate in other ways. I haven't even done my room. Like I said, the only thing I've done is the book tree. So I just haven't really felt motivated to pick anything up or like pick up my phone and vlog because I've not been doing that. Sorry, I can see my cat outside in the garden and I think she's staring right at me. Anyways, I did switch to the audiobook for Quicksilver and I got like, I want to say in one day I probably listened to all of this on audio and I now have just over 100 pages left, which is so exciting. I've been loving it. We're going to get into that in a minute. But I also finished Haunting Adeline because that was the audiobook that I started and I think I touched on in this vlog, I believe. But I was listening to that and I finished it the other day, and I will pop my Goodreads review on screen. We're not here to talk about that book, we're here to talk about the fantasy books that I've been trying to read this week. And I started, because I needed a new audiobook to start, because like I said, I love listening to an audiobook. I was listening to this when I was baking, I was listening to this when I was cleaning my room, I was listening to this when I was playing Minecraft, which is honestly the best pastime because I get to play a fun game and listen. Because like I said before, I have to be doing something in order to listen properly to an audiobook. So I started The Wolf King by Lauren, I don't remember her last name. I'm so glad I picked up the audiobook for this one because the voice actors, I'm not gonna lie, the female voice actress, not my favorite, but I've gotten used to it. The man who plays Callum, like I could listen to that man talk for hours, and I have, because I think I'm about 75% through the book. I started this yesterday. It is now 3-something p.m. the next day, and I've read 75% of this book, or listened to 75% book. Oh my goodness, listened to 75% of this book. All because of that man. And I'm loving it. I really am. Not only is the voice acting really good, especially on his part, the plot, it's got like underlying very generic fantasy tropes, kidnapping a princess from a rival, not kingdom, but it is about werewolves, technically. Yeah, because they turn into werewolves, so they are werewolves. But werewolves versus humans, werewolves live in the Highlands, or like the fictionalized version of the Highlands, and humans live in the fictionalized version of the Southlands. Is it just Lower Scotland, Southern Scotland and Northern Scotland? Because now I don't want to be saying something incorrect if it is incorrect. But basically, northern werewolves kidnap kind of willingly but also kind of not. She kind of has to choose between two bad people anyway. Well, bad people. And she decides to get kidnapped, voluntary kidnapping by the northern werewolves. And then it's basically her life being this pawn in rival politics and kings and stuff. It's one of those books where I have made excuses to listen to that audiobook, which is probably bad because I should be reading this, but I do have to go babysitting this evening. So we're gonna bring this book, and since it's an evening one, later in the evening, I'll just be able to sit on the couch and read. So that's the plan on hopefully finishing. Also because now that I have the audiobook, I'm listening to the audiobook and reading. Now let's talk about this. I'm not gonna lie, because it has been a minute. Oh my gosh, I went on a tangent. The reason why I wanted to film now is because I have kind of not felt very motivated to film this week. I also don't think that the video so far, like this vlog so far, has been my best piece of work, you know? So I actually don't know how I'm going to cut the video up until now. Like, the more that I think about it and the more that I think about the clips that I have, I want to do a lot better. Obviously, it's Thursday now. We have until Sunday when this video should be going live. So we have 4 more days, well, a little bit of today, and then 3 more days to make good content for you. And then next week, I'm going to put in, not that I wasn't putting in effort, but I just think that I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I didn't prepare well enough for this because I just kind of thought, it's my first vlog / bookmas. I'm not going to put that much pressure on myself, but I also didn't prepare things that I probably should have. So I'm just not the most happy with how this vlog is going so far, but I'm going to try to turn that around and yeah, do it better. So anyways, back to Quicksilver. I think I'm going to pick up book 2 straight after this because I'm really enjoying this. Again, I don't really know where I left off talking about this book, but a lot has happened. Carrion did make a reappearance. I don't know if I talked about, I think so, because I talked about the really funny scene that made me giggle the other night. I really like this group of characters. They're really fun. If I had a nickel for every time that my book that I'm currently reading has vampires as being the enemies, I'd have 2 nickels for this video. Which is weird that it happened twice, but it has. I just rewatched that clip back because something told me to rewatch that clip back. Why is the shot like that? Where's my body? Why do I look like I'm like... That's like 15 minutes of me yapping. And like that was like stream of conscious yapping, so I don't think I can refilm it. So I apologize for that horrendous angle. But that's just my own consequences of having to film with the back camera and not actually being able to see what I'm filming. Also because for some reason, I know there's a trick to like screen mirror your phone to like a laptop or an iPad. That never works for me. So, sorry. I don't want to have, I don't even want to have to edit that because that's such a horrendous angle. Not the angle, but just like the way that it's cut off. I don't even want to edit that, so I feel bad for anybody watching that. So I'm gonna like edit it to be as quick as possible. Apologies. I can't see what I'm doing when I'm filming on the back camera. That's so embarrassing. Off to work now. I've got the audiobook and I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm loving, I think I touched on it. It's quite cliche, but it's like unique enough in its setting and its characters that I'm fine with it. I love it. But anyways, let's go catch the bus because I keep having to sprint. Okay. walk at a brisk pace is more like it to catch the bus, but let's go. Let's go Christmas tree shopping. I'm so excited. It's been way too long and we are finally going now. So let's go. I don't think I've spoken today, but I am so very nearly ready for bed. I just need to finish this vlog. Well, I need to finish this clip, finish editing, and then do the thumbnail and upload. And is it like 10 p.m? Yes. Am I cutting it close? Yes. Did I know this was gonna happen? Yes. But anyways, sorry if you can hear Willow snoring behind me. She's very loud. But I realized that I never actually finished talking about Quicksilver and the Wolf King, because I did in fact finish both of these a few days ago. This entire week, well, more than a week, has been such a blur, and I'm hoping that this video makes somewhat sense. I know that it's already really long and I apologize because I feel like it's just tangents, but I feel like if I scrap this and don't upload anything today, I'll be even more bummed out than uploading something that maybe doesn't make the most sense. But hey, that's just vlogs sometimes. Next week, tomorrow, is hopefully going to be a lot better because I kind of know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to really try to edit every single day, like that day's film. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent and I'm making this even harder for me to edit and upload by tonight. So, Quicksilver. I love this so much. Carrion, so funny. I genuinely think he was one of the best characters in the book. Stark, obviously another great character. I really like him as an MMC, and I think the plot, like, it really shocked me the last like 10%, I want to say, but aside from that, it was really great all the way through. I think I gave this 4.75 stars, so everyone that's saying this is what I want in a fantasy book in their Goodreads review, correct. The actual magic is really cool. I love the whole alchemy side, and the Quicksilver was so intriguing, the way that it was talking to Ceres and stuff. I really enjoyed that. It was quite refreshing. I also don't think I've read that many alchemy books before, so it was quite new to me, so that's why I probably think a lot more highly of this book. But yeah, definitely want to read book 2 before the end of the year. Will that happen? Who knows, because I think it's longer than this one. But anyways, that's Quicksilver. And then I also finished The Wolf King, which I think I read or listened to in like 2 days. Yes, the plot was a little bit cliche and like nothing new, but I think the setting and the characters made up for that. So I was very happy with it, and honestly, I think if I had read it, it wouldn't have been as fun as listening to it, because having the accent match the setting, wonderful. 10 out of 10. So if you're ever going to pick up that book, I would highly recommend trying the audiobook because it was just phenomenal. But yeah, I think I gave that one 4.5 stars. And now I'm actually nearly 50% through When the Moon Hatched. Obviously this is the last day of this week, but we have gone through, what did we start with? Dietbound, The Burning God, Quicksilver, The Wolf King, and nearly 50% through When the Moon Hatched. If you want to see my review of When the Moon Hatched, I'll either talk about it next week if I finish it, or over on Goodreads, I'll definitely leave a review. At the minute, I've seen very opposite opinions of this book. I don't know what mine's going to be at the end. I think it's not my favourite. Currently, it's really not my favourite. Am I intrigued to see how far things will be taken? Yes. That's about it though. I'm a little bit confused also because I'm listening to the audiobook. The way that it's narrated, it's technically two narrators. It's really oddly composed, I guess. I don't know how else to describe it. So it's a bit of an off-putting book to listen to. It's also not the easiest because it's quite complex and difficult to understand. And nearly reaching the 50% mark, I was just a bit lost. Not gonna lie, but I'm gonna push through. That is week 1 done. Again, I apologise for I guess the first half of this vlog because I just was a bit lost, didn't really know the direction that I was wanting to take this vlog, and I promise you that next week will be a lot better. So bear with me. If you've made it this far, thank you for bearing with me thus far. And yeah, happy Vlogmas, Bookmas, and I will see you in tomorrow's vlog? No, this will come out tomorrow. What am I talking about? I need to get to bed. I will see you in the next Vlogmas. Bookmas. I don't know at this point.